Let's continue studying our timeline. I've created a new composition, and inside this composition I have loaded a new file, a new clip, whose name is bara.psd. This layer contains this red rectangular, and apart the red rectangular there is nothing inside my clip. As you can see, clicking on my toggle transparency grid, I can watch only the red bar. So, in this video I want to show you the opportunity to parent many layers between them and create a relation between the layers. So I've created my first layer. I drag once again my clip onto my timeline, and as you can see, my clip now is double. I have two copies of the same clip. Now, in my first level, I want to create a little animation into the transform rotation tool. I create my first keyframe at photogram 0, and at photogram 10 I want to create a 90-degree rotation. As you can see, in this moment I have created also only the rotation for the first layer. With the parenting tool here onto my timeline, I can create a relation, and I can pass the animation I've already created onto the first layer on the second layer. How I can do it? First I have to choose the sun, the layer that has to be the sun, and in this layer I have to choose the parent. I can choose the parent in two ways. First of all, I have this little drop down menu where I can pick my layer into a list. In this case I have only two layers, and it's very easy to choose the layer in the list because I have only one available. The layer 2 cannot be the son of himself, so the only voice available is layer 1 bara.psd. So just clicking onto bara 1, I have created the relation, and as you can see, now I have only one rotation. The two layers are one on top of the other, so the movement is perfectly the same. The other opportunity is with this little icon on the left of the menu. I have just to left click with my mouse onto the icon, and I have to drag onto the layer I want to be the parent. In this way I have created the same relation. Now what I can do? I can create also an animation with the rotation tool inside the second layer. I create my first keyframe at photogram 0 and the second keyframe at photogram 10 with a rotation of 90 degrees. As you can see, now the rotation of the second layer is added to the rotation of the first layer. In situation like that, is sometimes very useful to know where is the pivot point of the layer. In this case, my pivot point or anchor point determine the center of the transformation I'm creating in this animation, and it can change the final result of the animation. Doing the same for the second layer, I'm just transforming my animation, but as you can see, I'm passing the information between the two animations from one layer to another one. I can create many relations between many layers, and all the sun layer receive the information from his parent, but if the parent layer has a new parent, so like now I create a layer number 3 bara.psd, I create a relation with layer 2. Layer 2 layer 3 now is son of layer 2 and receive also information from layer 1, because layer 2 receive information from layer 1. So if I create another transformation keyframe with rotation of 90 degrees, now layer 3 receive information from both layer above. All the parameters that are contained in the transform menu, that are position, scale and rotation, can be passed with the parenting relation. Opacity and anchor point are independent of this relation that we have created. So right now in any keyframe where we can see the 3 layers, if we change the position of the main layer, we are changing the position of all the 3 layers. Also, if we are scaling and also rotate, as we have seen already, changing the position of the second layer, we are changing the position of layer number 2 and layer number 3, and changing the parameter of layer number 3, we are changing only the parameter of layer number 3, because it's the most down in our hierarchy that we have already created.